What's up, guys? Ralph LegitBrowniesGaming here, bringing you another GM Mode commentary, so let's get to it. So, last video, we got swept out of the Stanley Cup Finals by the motherfucking St. Louis Blues. I'm really pissed that happened, but this is the wrap-up video for this GM Mode. We will sim up a day. We did already, I believe. Yeah, so let's just look at the player stats. Stat Central, player stats for the playoffs. I mean, I can't. It was a successful GM because the last 3 years we were a good team. So Tavares, yeah, Tavares, Barchi, and Adam. Reinhardt did phenomenal. Adam, it was Burnett and Grabner disappearing in the playoffs that really hurt us. Popov did pretty well. Ehrhoff, he for what we got him for, he needs to do better than that. He really does. And then Gibson, I mean, I can't blame Gibson. 2.09, 92.61. He allowed a lot of goals in that series, but we weren't scoring, so. We will simulate up to the day before. Yeah, we don't need the scout anymore. And we'll look at how everyone's overalls progressed, the final overalls, point tallies, stuff like that, the awards, and yeah. And that'll do it for this GM mode. Yep, so let's see if anyone retired on our team. Yeah, fuck the St. Louis Blues. They can go eat one for all I care. Oh my gosh. Oh my god. Yup, blah blah blah. Just skip all this stuff that I don't care about. Looks like there's a D Potvin in left wing. I wonder if his first name's Dennis. That'd be pretty funny, actually. Ribeiro's still floating around in free agency, apparently so. So, Cavalier, yep, retired. Boschman retired. Heatley retired. Gianta. So we only lost Mike Rupp, and he wasn't even playing. Konopka retired. Paul Martin. Dupuis. Murray. John Michael Isles. Komisarek. Chimera. Chris Kelly. Ward. Wow, Washington lost a lot of guys. And goaltenders. Niedemaki retired in free agency. Yep. Alright. No. Yes. Fine. So let's just wrap up this GM mode by taking a look at the awards and such. Awards. So your St. Louis Blues win the Stanley Cup. In our 5 years here, we only managed to win 1 Stanley Cup, but that may sound pretty bad, but you got to look at what happened. I mean, year 3, Stanley Cup final entrance, we lost. Year 4, we win the cup, and in year 5, we make it back to the Stanley Cup final. So, President's Trophy, Nashville Predators, we only won that once in our 5 years. Clarence S. Campbell, the Blues, yeah. Prince of Wales, look at that. See, for the last 3 years, we've won the Eastern Conference, so we're definitely a good team. Art Trophy, Parise, Art Ross, Parise. Hart Memorial, there we go, Johnny T. James Norris, Christian Ehrhoff, way to go, buddy. Lady Bing, Parise. Calder Memorial, I knew it. There was absolutely no way Reinhardt was not winning that. Conn Smythe, Halak, Vezina, Quick. William Jennings, Quick. Bill Masterson, Halmerson. Selke, Crosby. Ted Lindsay, Jonathan Quick. Maurice Richard, Ovechkin. So we took home 1, 2, 3, and 4. So we took home 4 pieces of hardware. Not bad, not bad. Let's look at. Look at here. Contracts. Let's see how our players progressed and what our team would actually look like going forward. Whoops. So forwards. Tavares is at a 90 overall. Unbelievable. Solid. I mean, just over our course of our GM mode, just look at this. 91 points, 79. Kind of had a bad year that year, but 91, 79, 91, 93. Just unbelievable in the playoffs. I mean, 32 and 24, 29 and 23, 16 and 18. I mean, you can't argue John Tavares. You really can't. Reinhardt shot up to an 87. Wow. Holy crap. Yeah, Reinhardt, I mean, first liner for sure next year. First liner for sure. The 1 year we had him, 80 points, and in the playoffs, 14 and 18. What a beast. Zabruev, 86 overall now. Yeah, look at that. I mean, he never got a chance to play on our team. I mean, look at his defensive category. Even defensively, he's a solid player. That's just crazy. Burnett's an 86 now. Look at that. Oh my god, look at that shot. 99, 99, 99. Wow. That's crazy. Barchi, I mean, he might have to drop to the second line, right? Like 99, 96, 92. I mean, Barchi, I don't know what else to say about him. He was never the point of game player we wanted him to be. He always had kind of meh seasons, but I mean, he was a good player to pick up. 28 and 24, 19, 23, 15, 18. He was a playoff performer. Regular season, Grabner, 85 overall. Him and Tavares are the only two Islanders that actually stayed in this team. And yes, Ioansu. The only two original Islanders that are still on this team. Yeah. Point-wise, he was always in the 50s for points. Nothing too special. And then playoffs, he never really got it done. So I don't know what to say about Grabner. Emerson Edom, I mean, his shot is pretty good. I mean, he got up to an 85. He's the first liner. I mean, he just never had the seasons. Like, I don't know why him and Barchi could just never have the seasons in the regular season we need them to have. And in playoffs, 19-24, 20-23, 14-18. He didn't do bad, but, you know. Coyle, wow, so he jumped to an 84, so he looks like he's ready to come up and play maybe second or third line minutes for us, yeah. So that's good. So Coyle progressed what we need him to be. Doobie dropped to an 82, but that's okay. He was always a third liner for us. We got him in the Okposo for Doobie and Poisty trade. Can't argue with him. Wheel, he's up to an 82. I don't think there's a spot for him on a team really. Maybe he's a trading asset. Wanstrom, the depth. I mean, you got to keep Wanstrom. Solid third liner. Never really had fantastic seasons, but you know, I mean, he's a depth player. He's a role player. What else are you gonna ask for him, right? Zibanejad, he looks like he's ready to come up and play third or fourth line minutes. We got him in Dion Funa for Turris and Zibanejad in the first trade. So yeah, he definitely looks like he's ready to come up and play. Ioansu's an 80 now. Wow, so we actually went up a little bit. Again, really good depth player for us. Never had fantastic seasons, but he's a role player. And this playoffs, he actually stepped it up big. Wow, Weston actually got up to an 80 with 3.5 red stars. I mean, look at that defensive category. 95, 82, 90. For sure he's ready to come up and play third or fourth line minutes. That's really good, actually. Otters, 79. We picked him up for this year. Solid grinder still. 86, 87, 87 for the defensive category. E2 Poisty, just like a phenomenal player, overtime hero, playoff performer. You can't argue with E2 Poisty. I mean, you really can't. Moon dropped. I mean, Moon might have lost his spot on the team with all the players that are coming up, you know? That's just crazy. Sunstrom, yep. And then Fox is still progressing down there. Betts is still progressing. So if we were to start the season, I mean, first line and second line would just be phenomenal. First line would probably be Tavares, Bart, Reinhardt, and Burnett probably. And then you could have Zabruev, Barchi, and Grabner. Or maybe trade Grabner, right? Because who's coming up this year? We have to sign Dubinsky, Ioansu, Poisty, Coyle, Zibanejad, Zabruev. So there's that. So our first line would probably be Tavares, Reinhardt, Burnett. And then Zabruev, Barchi, Edom. Grabner now becomes a trade asset. You can move. Third line, probably Coyle, Dubinsky, Wanstrom, and then the fourth line you could have Zibanejad, Weston, and Ioansu. So yeah, you don't even need Otter, Poisty, or Moon. I mean, these guys are optional signs. They really are. You don't need to sign him if you don't need him, right? So yeah, I mean, we're looking pretty good for the future here. So defenseman, we have Popoff is still an 88 overall, solid player. I mean, we drafted him and he immediately turned into a beast, so definitely keep Popoff. Ehrhoff's an 87, so he went up a little bit. So maybe keep him for the year after and then trade him because he's kind of getting up there. Reinhardt, 87. That is phenomenal. Our first year, the guy we took in the first round of the first year, first overall, he's finally an 87, so that's good. Pysick, wow. The defensive defenseman, or the two-way defenseman, actually, that never really progressed, and he jumps to an 83, so that's pretty solid. Amac still solid back there. Hammers. Actually, Hamonic and Amac have been here from the beginning to add to the list, so it was, what is it, Yoansu, Grabner, Amac, and Hamonic that are still here from the original team. Simons never really got that high up there, but he's solid defensively, so I mean, definitely good player. Hamonic still the stay-at-home guy, you know. Amac, two-way defenseman, bottom six guy. Popoff, let's look at his stats. I don't believe I showed you his stats. He's definitely a really, really solid player. I mean, you can't argue that. Ehrhoff, and then Reinhardt, again, like, super solid. You gotta love Reinhardt. I mean, how can you not? And then, that's really all the defensemen we have. Wow. We literally only have these defensemen. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, I mean, top two, Popoff and Reinhardt. Then you got maybe Ehrhoff and Pysick. And then, I don't know, maybe Hamonic and Simons. Maybe Amac's got to go. First contract, you know. Wow, we really don't have any defensemen in the minor leagues, really. And then goaltenders, so Gibson finally reaches the elite goaltender mark we've been looking for him to get since the beginning of the year, beginning of the GM mode. He didn't get to the elite for us. He was an 85 last year, but he won us a cup, and he got us to Stanley Cup Finals twice. I mean, how can you argue with John Gibson? I mean, look at these stats. I mean, first year, yeah, it was crap. And then 2.15, kind of had an off year, but then, I mean, again, 1.95. It's just, you can't argue with John Gibson. I mean, he's just an utter stud, American-born goaltender. Poulin is a solid backup. He's always been our solid backup. He's always had pretty decent stats for a backup, I suppose. I mean, what else can you ask for? And in playoffs last year, he actually really saved us. 1.23 and 9.55 in the playoffs last year with 2 shutouts, so can't argue with that. Lewis Bennett, yup, and then Nilsson. So there's all the guys. We have 22 million to work with. We don't have to sign any goalies. Defensemen, we only have to sign Popoff. We'll probably want a lot. And then forwards, we have to sign. Wait, do we have to sign Popoff this year? Yeah, we do. Okay. And then forwards, we just got to sign Doobie. You don't necessarily need to sign Poisty or Moon. Because we were explaining before, we still have the depth. You can if you want. Got to sign Yoansu, Coyle, Zibanejad, Zbruev. 22 to work with. I think you can get it done, especially because now Amac and Grabner's contracts are, you don't need them. You really don't. And you can also trade away Otters if you want to. So, like, you can definitely work with the team. Highest paid defenseman's actually only making $4 million. And, I mean, we've had this team together for a long time. So, I really don't think this team is in any trouble going forward. So, that's about it. Let's go to the GM tracker. Let's check out. Yeah, offense and defense apparently are totally bad. Yeah. Team rep, team rankings. Yep. Personal GM records. Yep, yep, yep. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 years. Year 1 was horrible. Year 2 was worse. But then look at this. Um, Year 3, Stanley Cup Finals appearance, we lost. Year 4, win the cup. Year 5, Stanley Cup Finals appearance, and we lost. 52, I mean, you can't argue. We have 100 plus points in each of our competitive years. You can't argue with the team, and the team going forward does not look like it's going to be any worse for wear. So it's doesn't look like it's going to be any worse of a team. We can actually upgrade the scouts. We'll do that here. So yeah, I think that about wraps it up for this GM mode. I had a lot of fun doing it. I definitely had a lot of fun doing this GM mode. I'm not sure if I'm going to do another one, but this GM mode was a lot of fun to do. We made some great trades. We have a great team out there. It sucks that we couldn't win more than one cup, but that's fine because this team looks like it's going to be phenomenal going forward into the future. This year, I forget what kind of picks we have, but like I said, you can trade Grabner to move up for a pick. You can trade this guy, trade that guy to move up for a pick. So that'll wrap it up for this GM mode, guys. I've said this like 18 million times, but had a lot of fun doing it. Hope you guys really enjoyed the series as I did. I said it for more than 5 years, maybe doing more, but no, I decided to cut it at 5 years. We'll end it there. So thank you to the New York Islanders. Thank you, John Tavares, Griffin Reinhardt, Burnett, Barch Giedem, Gon Gibson, Amac Hamonic, all these guys, everyone. We had some fun. We had some cup wins. We had some great playoff runs. And that'll wrap it up. So I will see you guys next time. Take care.